Hello and welcome to the free video on the Nock version 3s. This new deck of cards brought to you by the Blue Crown and House of Playing Cards is our third version of the Nock deck. All that you know about the Nock deck is included in this one, plus some added new features that we're going to go into. We'll teach you the marking system of how to tell if it's not only red or black, but the suits of the card. And we're going to go into the trick that's built into it. It's a three-phase trick that you could do right out of the box. And let's get into all that right now. All right, here we go with the version 3s of the Nock deck. I'm going to show you them one by one and show you the features of them and what the reveal is inside. Now, the first versions had a quote on the inside, a minimal quote. When you opened up the tuck opened up the other way, and it had a quote here. We've designed something else into these ones. Now, as you can see, the first feature is that the tuck opens sideways, which I think is a very nice difference from the other ones, and it's just very nice for playing cards in general to have something different like this. It stands out. On the inside of each tuck, you will find some reveals in there. So for instance, we're going to go through them one by one. So here's the red one, and it says your card is the Queen of Hearts. Okay? And we're going to get into a trick of what you could use this for. Now, the obvious thing is just to force a card and get straight to the reveal, but we're going to show you a three-phase routine that you can do in just a second. So those are the reds. We also have the yellows, just like this. Now inside of the yellows, it says your card is the Two of Hearts. So we built this in to have different reveals for each one. So if you do this trick, you could change up the deck and reveal a different card. Okay, so that one is Two of Hearts. Moving on to the blues. Here are the blues. And inside, your card is the Seven of Spades. Okay, and I'm sure you could check them out, open it up with me and see what the reveals are. The green one. This says your card is the Six of Diamonds. All right, nice little reveal. And last but not least is the purple. Now, you guys have mentioned many times in the past that the purple was pretty similar to the blue, especially the backs. So we changed the purple Pantone color on this one to make it more of a violet. So here's the new purple that you get. So if you check with your other Nocks, you'll see that it's a different purple. And the inside of here reads, your card is the King of Clubs. Okay, so those are the reveals. Get to know them. They're pretty easy to remember which color has what reveals. So once you know that, we're going to go ahead and pick our favorite and go into first the marking system and then the effect. Okay, let's get into the marking system of how you could read the marks for suits. So the Nocks were built and we added a marking system so that if you look at the corners, you can tell if it's a club, a heart, a spade, or a diamond. Okay. Now here are the four different cards, the four different suits that we will go over right now. And we also have the Joker, which you can also tell if it's a Joker. So if you're doing a routine and you get to a card and try to read it, you could tell if it's a Joker or not. Okay. We'll get into the Joker in just a second. Now let me explain to you the system of the clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. Now you want to think of each corner, all right, and if it's sharp or rounded. Now do pick up your Nocks and check them, as you'll see the difference. It's hard to show it on camera, but if you take a card in your hand, you could definitely see what I'm talking about. Let's go first with the spade, okay? So the spade, what we want to do is count how many sharps each card has. So if you look at the spade, all right, it has one element. So spade is number one. Just remember that. Spade is number one, and the easy way to think about it is that the spade has 1 point over here. It's easy. And if you look at the back, you'll see that one is sharp and the other ones are round. So round, 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 and I see one sharp. So I know that this is a spade. And sure enough, it's a spade. The next one is heart. Now think of heart as number 2 because a heart has two little rounded edges over here. So just think of the elements of it. This was 1, this is 2. So we got to count the 2 sharps. So when you look at it, you're going to count, here's 1, here's another, this is round, this is round. So I know there's 2 sharp ones, that's number 2, it's a heart. Fair enough. Next one we're going to go into is the clubs. So the clubs is 3, obviously you see 3, boom, boom, boom. And you just have to see if you see 3 sharps, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, this one is round, so you know that's number 3, this is a club. And for the 4th one, all sharps, all diamonds, there's 4 elements, boom, 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 boom. And this is all sharp. So if you see all of them being sharp, you know it's a diamond. And that's how you could tell the suits, one apart from the other. And for the joker, it's really easy, they're all round. So all round is the joker. Pretty easy. So those are the ways to tell if a card is clubs, hearts, spades, or diamonds. Let me show you something really cool that you can do with it right now. Okay, a nice little routine that I always do with this, and it was included in the first video of the knocks, but just in case you missed that, here it is really quickly. What we're going to do is be able to feel the colors of the cards, the suits of the cards, and then also the actual value of the card through this routine. Okay, so to start off, you want to force a card that you know the value of. So let's say we're going to force the Ace of Spades. Okay, so you could go ahead and force that in any which way you want. I'm just going to do a riffle force, place the card here, and tell the spectator to hold this in between their hand or place it underneath their seat or in their pocket. It's very important that this last card, basically what's going to happen is the method is going to be canceled out by what you're doing, reading the markings. So it's very important that the back is not seen. So tell them, usually what I do is I place their hand on top of it and they stay like this. Then you say you're going to read, you're going to try to read through your whatever sense, whatever pattern you want to talk about, you're going to try to read and guess the card. So this is off to the side. Now you're going to take the shuffle deck. So you give the spectator the deck to shuffle and you say we're going to start with the color. Let me see if I can sense the color. Now you're just going to read the markings on it, okay? So right now I see 1, 2, 3 sharps, so I know this is a club. But I don't say it's a club just yet, I say it's black. So I'm going to do a few that are black and red, and then I'm going to get into the suit. So I sense it, I do this, I read the marking, and I say, okay, black card, okay, because I know it's a club. And then you show it, all right? You're going to do it again. Okay, here's another club, so I'm going to say black. Just like that. So after you do a couple, right, maybe you do 3 or 4, that's a color, then you're going to go into the suit, all right? Now you're going to do this, and you're going to say, okay, and now I see that it's 2, so I know it's a heart, so now I'm going to say heart. I think it's a red card, I'll take it a step further, it's a heart. Yes, turn it over, heart, yes. Let me try it again. Here's another heart. And you say heart, yep, you get it. This one is a diamond. Okay, and so on and so forth. This one is a spade, so on and so forth. Then you say, okay, now I'm warmed up. Now let me try your card. So now, when they bring their hands here, you're going to guess the color, the suit, and the value. So you say, I think it's a black card, it's a spade, Ace of Spades. And then they're going to turn it over, and you've just read through their hands the value of the card. But it's very nice because the method really cancels out that you might be reading cards because you did that for the color, the suit, and then in between their hands, or this is sight unseen in their pocket or something, then you tell them what the force card is. So it's better than just forcing a card and doing it. It kind of gives a method behind the madness. So that's a very cool routine that you can do with the marking system, but there's so many, so please feel free to play around with that and come up with your own. Okay, let's get into the 3-phase routine that I kind of came up with for the knocks using the box. All right, now the box has a reveal. Each one, as we talked about, has a reveal here, and we're going to use that to our advantage. We're also going to use the sideways open tuck as a way to load the card in. Okay, and we're going to build it in a 3-phase routine. The first phase, the card is going to appear underneath the box. the second phase is going to appear in the box, and the third phase is going to be nowhere to be found, and then the reveal is going to be here on it, okay? So take out your force card. In this case, the red one is your card is the Queen of Hearts. So I'm going to go through the pack, find the Queen of Hearts, and I'm going to force that card. So that card is on top, and you could use any force that you want. Very easy one is just a riffle force. Say stop, they say stop, and the card is selected, okay? Now, you want to make sure that the box is closed, just like this, and left onto the table right in front of you, all right? Because the way that we're going to load the card is we're going to palm it off, and while we move the box to the side, we're going to load the card underneath, okay? It's very standard, and I'm sure all you guys know it already. So there's the queen. It gets placed back into the middle, and just control the queen on top. Okay, so once the queen is controlled to the top of the pack, you're going to palm off the card into the right hand top palm, okay? And you're gonna do this while spreading the deck and moving the card box from in front of you to the side, okay? So it's gonna look something like this. You're palming off the top card, just like this, while you say, your left hand grabs the pack just like that, and you're gonna move the pack down to the table, okay? And you're gonna begin to spread the cards this way. Now notice if I start to spread, I'm gonna hit the box, all right? So that's why at the same time as you take the cards from your right hand with the palm cards here, this hand is going to pick up the box and move it, okay, as you're spreading it. So these two actions happen at the same time. Their eyes are gonna be on the deck because you're gonna say, now try to see your card inside of here. And as you do that, you're gonna move this here, drop the palmed card, and take the deck and place the deck on top. Place the tuck on top of the card as you spread, just like this. So now you're gonna spread it. Now, after your hand releases the tuck, you're gonna move with both hands here, and you're gonna say, do you see your card somewhere in here? So that's the misdirection of getting the card underneath the box. So here it is again. This one is controlled to the top in this palm. You're gonna say, do you see your card somewhere in the deck? You're gonna come, and there it is, and you point. Okay, do you see it? They're gonna say no, and you say, well, that's strange. If I do this, it jumps underneath the card box, and that's when they're gonna look and see it right there, okay? So that is phase number one. Now, I'm gonna take the box and move it back to the center as they look at their card. As they're looking at the card to reveal that it is their card, they're gonna freak out. You're gonna open up the box and get ready for the second phase. So here's the second phase. I open up the box just like this, and with my two fingers, I'm gonna stretch it out, and my two fingers are gonna come here and move the flaps out of the way. That's the setup. Boom, boom, and leave it right there, all right? If you want to rip the flaps up, I don't know, sometimes it might be easier, and sometimes you don't really need the flaps. So if it might be easier, rip up the flaps, nobody needs them, and just lay the cards, the tuck right there. Now what you're gonna do is you're going to need to switch this card for an indifferent card and load the selected card inside of the box. Now the way I usually do that in a routine is using the DMB spread control, okay? Which is something like this. You have the card here, and as it comes down, you're switching it and you're gonna call the card underneath, okay? So that could be learned from Dan and Dave. An easier way to do it is just like this. Let's see if we get that queen back. You're gonna line up these two, just like that, two cards. And now as you're gonna out jog, so you're gonna show the card, as you're gonna out jog the card, you're gonna call and move the second card forward, okay? And this could be called, this is used to call the card to the bottom of the pack. So either that, or you can use my move that I released with Dan and Dave, which is my version of the DMB spread control, which is here. You show the card, and as you come to take it, you're gonna switch it for this card, so your thumb is coming underneath, on top, and you're switching it from here. Any which way to get this card in this position is helpful. So I'm sure you guys know at least one way to have the card switch and being called, all right? So now you're in this position. The card is here, and these fingers are gonna kick it out, and you're gonna come on top Okay, so here's a little messy. Let me square that back up. You're going to come on top of here and load that card underneath. So here's the card, Queen of Hearts. Show it. You're going to come down, do a switch, cull. So now it's here. Now you're going to say, do you remember your card? Now what's happening underneath is these cards are coming on top and this is being left here. Now because of the sideways tuck, you could just let it drop just here. So that's starting position number 1, and that's happening underneath here. You do that as you move your hands forward and up towards them. You're going to ask them to push that in. Square it up, push it in, and while they're doing that, your hand pushes this in and you're going to close the box. Now usually, because of the flaps, I'm going to do it in 2 moves because I can't do this all one-handed. So I'm going to do this in 2 moves. I just do it just here. They're going to push it in, right? And I'm going to say, take the pack. Now, as they take their pack, I'm going to say, shuffle it. And as I come back, my hand is still blocking this, so they don't see that the card is in here just yet. I'm going to say, look, it's going to appear underneath the card box again. And as I do that, I just close the box. All right? So let me take you through that one more time really quickly. This is opened here. Card is shown, switched, culled. Now this has to be straight. I'm going to let it drop right here. So it's dropped. As I come up, I'm going to kick this inside of the box as I tell them to push it in. They're going to push it in, and I say, go ahead and shuffle up the pack. I'm going to make it appear, and I'm going to take this and tilt it towards myself and close the box. I'm going to make it appear underneath the card box again. So you don't say that for the second phase because they will know what to expect. You say that only afterwards, after the card is in there. You're going to say, I'm going to try to make it appear underneath the box. So now they're looking at it. They shuffle up the pack. Now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to spread to mimic that first version. Look through the deck. Say the card is not there underneath the card box. Oh, no. And as you pick it up, it's almost as if you feel it inside of here. So you're going to start to shake. And now with clean hands, you're going to do this. And say one card jumped inside of the card box. The Queen of Hearts. Okay? Now here's a nice little touch because you're opening up the deck and you don't want this to be seen just yet. As you open up the cards, you're going to do this and your thumb covers the reveal. Okay? Thumb just covers it. You go in. Now the card covers the reveal. And now you could turn it over, show it, and place this down. Nobody's paying attention to this. And show it just like that. Okay? Now you come here, close, and now you're ready for phase 3. For phase 3, it's very easy. You're going to take the card. This is usually what I do. There's a few options here. You take the card, you place it on top. Now you're going to say, watch, it's going to happen again because you missed it the first 2 times. Place your hand on top of the box. So now they're going to place their hand on top of the box. You say, watch the queen. If I just shake, it's gone. Now you just do a double. So you show the first card, and then I just shake and I do a double lift to show that the card is not there. It's not there. And you can spread again, right? You don't want to spread, obviously, the top card. Sometimes what I'd like to do is if they do want to check through the whole thing, I say, it's not there, it's not there. And then I would either palm this card off, so I could do this and just cop it off. So this goes into this hand. So now you could end totally clean where the card actually disappears. It's nowhere to be seen, but that's not necessary. You tell them to lift up their hand. Is it underneath the box? No. It must be inside of the box. Now here's something very cool. The spectators will grab to the box and just open it like this. Now they're naturally going to cover this, which is very exciting when that works. If you're scared about that, you could just take the box from them and say, underneath, no, inside, no, but here, I'll try something else. And since you're covering this already, you could come here and say, look, if I just rub, now the reveal is inside of the box. So now you have a 3-phase routine with this kicker ending where it's on there and it gets a great reaction. Okay, so just another quick note that I wanted to add. Once they open up the box, if you don't want to do the reveal as you're printing the letters on there, you don't have to do that. You could just let it sink in. So you could say, lift up your hand. Is it underneath? No. Is it inside? They open it up and then they don't see it. And then you just stare at them and you say, inside of the box, your card. And then they look and you say, no. You say, no, the writing on the inside of the box. And then they'll see this and they'll look at it closer and read it. and that's when they really freak out. So it's two ways of doing it. Either way, test them out, and whichever one you like. So those are the three phases to the box routine that we've incorporated into the knock deck. So hope you enjoy that one, and let us know what you think. Alright, so there you have it. That is the free video for you guys for all you need to know about the knocks. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you do the routine. Even if you don't do the three phases, each phase by itself is also very good, and if you just want to force a card and reveal it inside of the box, that's good too, that works. I have a lot of fun with this deck. It's my personal favorite deck, and I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you have any questions on anything, feel free to contact us at the Blue Crown or House of Playing Cards. And if you have any other ideas that you could put into this deck, the way we've built it, please let us know using the marking system, using the reveal, any of that. We'll love to hear your ideas. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.